We now go to WJTV's Melanie Dotson. She joins us live from Copiah County with what's happened throughout the day leading up to that press conference tonight. Melanie.
Good evening, Mallory. That's right. Families have been here all day. It's been a very emotional scene. Right now, both of those men are still underground, and their families are just holding on to hope.
Settle. Staying still, just waiting on any information that we can get right now.
According to MEMA, the Mine Safety and Health Administration is overseeing this recovery, but the Green Brothers Gravel Company is in the forefront. Workers began the process again at 9 Sunday morning, hoping to recover the two men trapped below the earth. Family has identified those men as 24-year-old Emmett Shorter and D. Hemphill.
Waiting is terrible. You know, they're Emmett's family and ours, you know, like I said, we're standing on each other, leaning on each other, and the waiting's worse than anything you can imagine.
This is where the two men are located, 10 to 15 feet underneath a mixture of sand, gravel, and mud.
The main thing right now, the efforts that they're making sure, they're trying to hook onto a certain point of one of those pieces of equipment, but they're not been able to link onto the strongest portion. And so you don't want to have a situation where you lose that portion and we're not able to recover that piece of equipment. So the main thing is we're trying to make sure we have a strong piece of equipment to pull that out of the sludge at this time. Sunday marks day 3, days both families have been waiting for answers to their questions and signs of hope. Prayers have been prayed and tears have been shed by people who want to see these men sooner than later.
I mean, both of them was good people, and just keep them in your prayers.
Tells me right now that their patience is running very thin at this moment. Right now, we're told rescue efforts will begin in the morning at 6 a.m. We will continue to follow this story as more information becomes available. For now, live in Copiah County, Melanie Dotson, WJTV 12.
WJTV's Melanie Dotson joins us live with an update on recovery efforts. Melanie.
Well, we have new information tonight. Family of Emmett Shorter tells us Emmett's cab has been recovered, but Emmett has not been located. Well, now the search is on for his body. We got the call shortly after 8:30 this evening, and shortly after we spoke with family friends of Emmett came to this site after they say they too received news from site workers that things aren't looking good.
It was relayed that the information tends not to be good, but they didn't say. They said they were waiting on approval from the governor and, you know, I guess to relay it in with the family members before they gave it to the public. But that's what we're told.
Well, we spoke with MEMA about this information from family. They did not confirm that anyone was recovered, but they did say both vehicles are visible. As far as we do know, crews are still digging to get to those men. We will continue to follow this story online on our website, WJTV.com, as well as our social media platforms. For now, live in Copiah County, Melanie Dotson, WJTV 12.
We're in day 6 of the search for Emmett Shorter and D. Hemphill, the two men who were buried in a gravel pit after it collapsed Friday. As WJTV's Melanie Dotson found out, local officials have now stepped in to assist in these recovery efforts.
Well, Melanie, that's right. Copiah County has declared a local emergency. This will allow additional state resources to support this recovery operation as needed. And this has been an around-the-clock operation since Monday morning. And as you see here, several agencies have made it back to the site. Crews are on the site continuing to dig, but so far, no sign of the men. Contractors are still applying water and pumping sludge around one of the machines, the excavator, to get closer to where they believe the men might be. But the Mine Safety and Health Administration tells us the boom of the excavator is twisted and not in line with the cab, so it's making it more difficult. We're told the rescue team entered the cab of the haul truck, but they didn't find anyone. Crews have pumped water and debris all day today with hopes of getting to the excavator cab tonight. Officials with MEMA say more sand from around the excavator may take more time. Now, at this time, there has not been any word if the cab of the excavator has been located, but we will continue to follow this story as more information becomes available. For now, live in Copiah County, Melanie Dotson, WJTV 12.
And tonight, WJTV's Melanie Dotson joins us live with a closer look at what's going on at the site. Melanie.
Byron, that's right. Crews were able to locate one missing worker around 1:30 this morning. Right now, officials are holding off releasing his identity. For now, the search continues for that second missing worker.
The force of the slurry that came through the boom was mangled, and the cab was at a 90-degree angle from where it should have been. So that is why, once that piece of equipment was exposed, it took us a little bit longer than was anticipated, just because of the damage that was done to the equipment.
And it may take even longer to find the second worker. According to officials, without an eyewitness, crews can't confirm if the second worker was in his machine at the time of the cave-in.
And once this material starts to settle, it's just like pouring sand into a glass of water. What's it do? It starts to pack it down, and you start, shaking that, it starts to pack. About 100,000 tons of sludge caved in on these men. This is live camera feed from inside MSHA's mobile command center. You can see water pouring onto the site to loosen up the ground so more sludge can be pumped out. We had no way of getting out there. It's a very fluidized material. There was no way that we could access it other than to, people say that it takes time. Yes, it does. Crews tell us they're doubling their efforts to find this second worker. Ground penetrating radar is being considered to locate this miner.
I heard one agency or one entity or one contractor pull back on anything. If anything, they want to be here for the long haul to make sure we get this thing done for sure.
Now, crews are expected to continue their search around the clock to find this missing worker, and new ideas are still being considered. We will continue to follow this story as more information becomes available. For now, live in Copiah County, Melanie Dotson, WJTV 12.
Copiah County coroner confirmed Dee Hemphill was the worker found overnight Thursday. Now the search continues to find the second worker, Emmett Shorter. WJTV's Melanie Dotson is at the site following this search to give us a look at what crews are working with. And Melanie, have crews given a time frame of when Shorter will be recovered?
Well, Byron, right now a time frame has not been given by officials as they believe Shorter could be anywhere inside of this pit. Here's a look at what crews are working with tonight to find Emmett Shorter.
There's feet and feet of that kind of material, and of course the rest, there's a lot of heavy solids in it as well, and that's what would have packed into the cabs. We're told officials are looking as far as 15 to 18 feet down into this pit. As this search continues, crews are now using a different approach. A cadaver dog is now being used to locate Emmett Shorter. Quite possibly, if we get a positive ID from the dog, we may have to, call for that, put some boxes in and then let people work. They're also still exploring ideas like ground penetrating radar to recover Shorter. Officials tell us the next piece of equipment will be a dredger. You're going to have to influx water into that, at the same time. You've got to hit a happy medium of the mix for the water and the solids and stuff for that to work. But it'll go fairly rapidly after that. Once that happens and you don't have any issues and no problems, then you can generalize about how long it'll take. Now, this is a sky view taken since this incident happened. This is where the dam was breached, sending 100,000 tons of sludge right here inside of Green Brothers gravel pit. As you can see, this is where the excavator and dump truck was located, and officials tell us that both of these men were buried almost immediately. We've not locked in on a plan yet of whether we're going to set that dredge in and do what dredges normally do, which is work its way forward, or we're going to work 2-foot lifts at a time. Well, crews have since stopped digging by hand, but those pumps are still being used to move some of that slurry and sludge out of the way from that pit. In the meantime, all crews will be working around the clock to recover Emmett Shorter. And as soon as we get more information, we'll pass that along to you. For now, live in Copiah County, Melanie Dotson, WJTV 12.